the number 4 on Foundations, they broke in the top 20 on the Billboard indicator chart, and Media Base is kind of far behind. So I'm guessing we're going to see them show up in about a month or so. It's time to get up close and personal with Chains Over Razors. Mikey V and Andy are with me from Chains Over Razors. Dude, it's so good to have you guys here.
We are excited to be part of this.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, you guys are out of Chicago, right?
That's correct.
Okay, but you're not actually originally from Chicago.
My brother and I are. We had a singer that was originally from Canada. Okay. And when he left, we got our new singer, William Mullen, by luck of chance, and passing the recording studio. And he was like, I'm in, let's do this. And we just started working on our second album together. And the rest is history, man.
Okay, you're a 3-piece, but you sound like you got 6 to 7 guys in the band. How do you pull that off?
Okay, so here comes my shameless plug.
Okay.
I use a Fractal XFX3. Okay. And it's a digital processing guitar rig. And in there, I could create a stereo guitar and a bass rig all at the same time. And I have a controller. And for what song we're doing, I could shift of what I need for us to present ourselves the way you're hearing it on the album, which is we use that unit to record the whole album. Prior to that, we would have to bring out enough gear for a 5-piece band, which, let me tell you, it takes about 45 minutes to an hour to set up with all the cabling and splitting signals and rigs. And my brother got sick and tired of dealing with it. And he's like, I'm buying this thing for you. Does this do what you need? I was like, all in one box.
Dude, it would take to load up after a show. It would take an hour and a half just to load the equipment up.
Yeah, 12-foot trailer.
Yeah, a 12-foot trailer of equipment just to do it prior to this unit. And I was like, I'm done. I'm like, we need to get this thing. And, it fits in a 3, space rack system, and you can do whatever you want. You can create any amplifier imaginable. Yeah. And you can even get down to the point of customizing or making your own amp with like everything from capacitors to
transformers, screen resistors.
Right. Oh, really? So you can actually get like the tone and the sound you want.
Yeah, right. I mean, any electrical engineer who likes to modify amps, could just geek out on this thing. And we spent like 6 months working it out. And originally, when we first started working on our first album with Carmine Apiece, who executive produced both albums, we didn't have a bass player at that time. And, we told him we need to find one. And he was like, no way, man. He's like, this sounds so big. As the 2 brothers and a singer, that's it. You're going to be a power trio. And that's where the idea came from. And he picked up on the fact that since we were kids, we used to always, my brother and I would always jam, of course. He played drums, guitar, why not?
Yeah.
And we would always play our favorite bands and try to make a sound as full for 2 guys. And I think that was something that naturally developed that we didn't realize, that he pointed out to us, and we're like, interesting. Right. You figured that out in day 1 on recording with us. Carmine is the man. I mean, he's got laser ears.
That's I want to talk about Carmine a little bit. You actually just brought up something I was thinking about. Now, you said when you were kids and you would do this, how early of an age did you guys start? Did you realize that music was a part of what you wanted to do?
Oh, what were we? Maybe 10 or 11 at the time?
I mean, that's when we first, took lessons and, was learning our actual crafts. I mean, prior to that, I remember watching like Kiss on TV, And, you know, my brother and
I
would
want to
have,
do
like,
that.
yeah, right. You know, and we would have like a toy drum set guitar, and we just smash the hell
just
out of
break
it.
it. You know, that was
Seemed
how we did
fitting.
it. Next year we got another drum, you know, toy drum set, smash it. Like,
Same thing.
Is that
Yeah.
what, you know, that's what you did when you're a kid. So when you got it, you know, and you're talking like maybe we're like ages 4 or 5, you know, parents like, here, I got your toy drum set. Next day the thing is just wrecked.
It's
Yeah.
wrecked. So
So-
what do your parents think about that? Did they think that okay, all right, this is just kids being kids, they're just gonna it's a phase, whatever, and then see you now? What do they say?
They thought we were out of our damn minds for a very long time. Now, I mean, of course, they're very supportive.
Yeah.
You know, but for a while they were just like, what are you two doing? You know, we're like, look, we love doing this. This is what we want to do. You know, we've been through many different versions of the band. You know, we've been in 5-piece bands and rocked all around the United States and different versions. But this project, the most successful, and probably the most surprising, that everything that has happened, none of us expected. So we started getting the chart reports, and we're like, what's going on, man? Are we in the Matrix?
Well, I saw like you rose really fast once you got on Foundations, because we are a Foundations charting show. And once you got on Foundations and I saw you shoot up, I think it was like, I don't know, 15, 17 spots. I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell? So I started
Yeah.
watching, and finally I was like, damn, I got to get these guys on before they hit number 1. This is freaking crazy. This is awesome. So
We're nearing it too.
Yeah, it really was insane, because I remember when we first got the first email and it was the most added, I think, first, and then most added on the Billboard. He was passed out. I slapped him. I'm like, wake the hell up. I'm like, did you check your email? Like, what the hell is going on?
this
You're
is
talking about
real.
what, in a matter of a week, it jumped up, like you said, like 17 spots. And I'm like, what is going on? And every week we keep on getting this report, and we're just seeing it going up and up. And we're just going like, is there
Yeah.
something we're missing? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's been moving so fast that we're just trying to like keep up and understand what was going on. And
Yeah.
and then everybody, you know, was, you know, we put that announcement out there, and it
was
just
like a
like,
wildfire.
it was a wildfire. Somebody dumped oil on the fire, and then
Yeah.
it just went
I mean,
off.
Carmine called us and he was like, what? Like this, what is it going on? I'm like, man, this is awesome. But yeah, good question. I mean,
We're trying to figure it out. We don't know. Something's going on.
we're very appreciative and thankful that people are taking towards what we've been writing. We spent a very long time crafting these songs, especially with all the hiccups with COVID and trying to get into a studio and doing this album. I mean, we literally wrote from scratch, you know, tape machines rolling, whatever happened, and we built off from there. And it was just organic and spontaneous, and we just kept running with it. And the end result's this album, and it's awesome, man. Pedal to the metal.
And you have 12 tracks on this album, right?
Yeah.
So Behind These Eyes, that we have 11 more to look forward to, don't we?
Yeah. 11 more to choose from. Yeah, which is going to be cool to see what pops next.
What exactly I want to see. As far as your opinions, what do you think? Is this kind of an eclectic record? Are you stretching like different bounds of what you can do on different tunes?
Oh yeah, every tune is, you know, I mean, they're all heavy driven. Some are more laid back, but as far as their approach to the songs, no song is the same.
Yeah.
It really does. It's really broad in that range that it gravitates, no matter which song you listen to, any listener, regardless of the style they prefer, there is something there that they're going to like about it, because they pick up on that, you know, specific aspect of it. You know, it's it can be as heavy as it can possibly be. At the same time, it can be melodic, at the same time. And I think that's one of the things everybody's picking up on, is that it's
And-
such a big combination.
And to add to that, I mean, anyone I've talked to, it's, you know, a personal experience in their life that has drawn them to a song. And it's always surprising to hear.
Oh, I'm gonna wait a second. You guys are sitting still. Why in the hell did you just drop? That's weird as hell. Come on. Normally when people are driving, I have this problem, but you guys are actually doing the safe thing and sitting still. But you just went down to like 0 bars. Oh, you're back. Got to let you back in. Now it's got to take time hooking up.
The Shep.
Are you there?
I am here.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell, man. You're sitting still. Why did the call drop?
The first day of hot weather in Chicago, and my phone overheated.
Oh, that's what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had an emergency on here.
Oh, dude. Okay.
My phone can't handle the Shep.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Should I let your phone cool off and rest a little bit? And should we continue
well, we
this?
got my brother's phone here for the backup, so we'll continue on.
It's all
Well, okay,
good.
well, I don't want to kill your phone.
Oh no, it's full power. It just can't handle heat right now for some reason.
Okay. All right. Now I'm trying to remember where we were. Oh yeah, talking about something on the album for everyone.
Yeah. So my last statement was that to hear everyone who's dealing with something in their personal life gravitate to a song on the album is so awesome. And there's really a song for everybody on there. And you know, for us, every song is personal, and it's hard to have a favorite over the other. We work so hard on it. So very cool, man.
It is. How did you guys hook up with Carmine? How did that happen?
So on our first album, there was a third party involved, but mentioned the possibility of, you know, talking to Carmine and see if he's interested in producing our first album. And our lead singer at that time flew out to New York to sit down and talk to him and just discuss of where our heads were at with the album. And he heard a couple of tracks, and I get a text message from our singers like, "Hey, put this number in your phone. Carmine's going to call you." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Yeah. Who knows when that was going to be? Later at night, I'm watching that metal show. There's Carmine Apiece on that metal show, drumming off, and I'm like, man, this is a sign, right? Like, for sure. The next afternoon, the next day, all of a sudden, boom, his name pops up on my phone. I wanted to screenshot it, but I didn't want to accidentally hang up on him.
Okay.
So I answered, and he's like, "Hey, dude, like, I heard the tracks, the killer, man. Like, let's do this." And great. And we just started booking the studio time, and we went. And just like that.
So
it was wild.
Working together, how did you guys hit it off right away? Carmine has been like on the show different times, and he's such a down-to-earth dude. I love talking to him.
Yeah.
What is it like to work together?
I was nervous. Being a drummer, I was super nervous. Like, when I first met him, I was like, oh man. The only thing that went through my head was like, don't mess up. Don't sound like an idiot.
Yeah. Don't suck.
Don't suck. Don't drop the stick. We're gonna record. And within, I think it was like first 5-10 minutes meeting them, they're getting set up, you know, miking everything, and Carmine starts jamming on his drum set. I was jamming on his brother's kit, Vinny's kit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just jamming. They're like, where are these two?
Yeah.
And here we are.
It's like the Blue Man Group just formed here in New Jersey. We're at the studio.
It was hilarious.
And then I'm on a talkback like, aren't we supposed to be working on an album?
Yeah,
These guys are just playing.
Yeah.
I mean, he blew my mind right away with these stories he was sharing with me. And I was just like, I'll be right back. And he's like, what for? And I'm like, I need to go and get some air. You're blowing my mind right now. And I called my buddy who was out on the road with anthrax, and he was like, suck it up, get back in there and get back to work. Yeah. I'm like, thanks for the advice, bro.
Well, it is kind of surreal when you talk to some of those guys, because okay, these stores are just like you or I would be talking about, like, our friends and how we're fucking around. Yeah. And it's just like nothing to them. And it's like, do you realize you're talking about history, man? You're talking about stuff that we've wanted to do, we've wanted to experience for years and years and years. And these guys are just so matter of fact about it. It blows my mind.
Yeah. And things that you would never, you would just never hear even on like television shows and these documentaries. Yeah. It's so much deeper than that. And I'm just like, what?
I think for me, that big realization hit is when Ludwig brought Ringo Starr's prototype snare drum, and they're like, here, let's take a picture with this. And he hands it to me. And I'm like, this is a really nice, snare drum. It's a prototype. I'm like, cool. And they're like, yeah, it's for Ringo Starr. We're shipping it out tomorrow. And I just froze. And I'm like, don't drop the snare drum.
But, and then think about that though, man. Later on, like, if you hear somebody talk about Ringo Starr's new snare or something, you're gonna be like, man, I was there. I remember that. Well, this is like old guy shit for you on down the road.
Yeah, for sure. I got pictures of you holding it. And you could just tell in the picture, I just look petrified holding the snare drum. Like, while we're taking this picture and they're telling me this, and I'm like, oh, how much does a snare drum cost?
Got these wide eyes and
nope,
shit.
I'm not gonna touch that snare. Nope. I'll stand by you though.
That's freaking awesome.
You want to take a picture with it? And you're like, no.
I was like, no way. I'm like, no.
While I'm holding it.
Forget about it. It's like when someone hands you a $15,000 Gretsch and then they tell you the price after you're playing. You're like, oh,
yeah.
After put this back in the case. Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden, like, from a full grip, you go to like just delicately.
That's exactly how I was.
Yeah.
Making sure there's no zipper rashes on it, from your sweatshirt, or like, did I belt rash this thing?
Did I scuff it? What the?
Right. Like, and if I did, do I say anything?
So what do you see looking? We already talked about the past a little bit. What do you see looking forward for Chains Over Razors?
For us, it's definitely hitting all the markets that we're in. We would love to come out to Oklahoma, maybe chase some tornadoes on the way.
You have a good shot.
Yeah. I always told my bro, I'm like, let's hit up that guy who's got that TIV and like, let's go through one, and we're all just like, man, that's nuts. I'm like, yeah, but it'd be a rush. But we would definitely love to hit all the markets and bring our live aspect to everybody. And that's where we really do our thing, where the sound just roars on what we do live. And that for us has always been a number one, is live.
So do you feel, since live is the number one for you, do you feel that's where you feel most comfortable?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I know with COVID, there's a lot of streaming going on, but you just don't get that like sonic blast that just rattles your head, unless you got like some great THX sound system. You might get close. But just to have that a PA in front of you, and when we're up there, we can feel it just shaking the stage. So it's like, I can only imagine what it's like out there. So, I'll ask some of my friends that, come on out and check us out. I'm like, man, did it rattle out there or what? They're like, oh yeah, you're moving air.
Like, I can still feel the vibration in my ass.
Yeah.
Would you say you're one of those bands that plays on the brink of distortion? You just get to that place where it sounds perfect sonically. It's going to like shake your ass off, but it's still going to sound really good.
Yeah, we hire out an audio engineer, Ian Eskridge. He's badass. He's worked with so many big artist, and he just gets it to that fine point where it's like it's not overly loud, but just right there that is bearable, that bellows the room just right. And every time, man, we just come out slaying. So kudos to him for understanding what we're about and then transferring that through the PA.
Taking that through. And there are those guys that can do that, that can get that to the point. I know exactly what you're talking about, right where it gets to the point where the sound is all encompassing in the room. Yeah. And you know that everything is going to come out perfect. And once you find those guys, what do you do? Do you do anything it can do to hold on to those guys?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. You got to, because they understand they understand it best. They understand how we work, and they understand, especially with his Axe Effects 3 and how he's running it. And
another shameless plug.
It was a shameless plug. You know, I mean, it's not just, you know, my snare drum cracking or my bass drum kicking you in the chest. You know, his rig, because he has a custom 7-string guitar, which, I mean, it's practically, he's like practically playing bass guitar at, well, you are playing bass guitar and guitar at the same time. It covers everything from the lowest frequency to the highest. And I'm sitting right in some of those territories too. So when you hear it, it's not like you're just hearing guitar in the mid-range. It's the entire spectrum. So it sounds like
across. Okay.
Yeah, it's a wall of sound.
You know, when we get like these, we just got a last minute gig a couple of weeks ago, less than 24 hours to share the stage with 10 years. And, you know, we hit up our audio engineer and we're like, hey man, like, I know this is last minute, but there's just a confidence knowing he's in control of front of house, and also talking to the other engineers there to help everything just overall for all the bands a smooth night. But we know that we can just worry about what we're doing, and he already takes care of what, you know, our vibe is, what we're about, and we don't have to worry about if it's another engineer trying to figure that out as we're going.
Okay, and this, I guess, is just a question off the top of my head. You just reminded me of something. It's like, what is it? What happens when you have the in-house engineers? When you get there, and have you had those experiences? Because one of my friends is a audio engineer for bands, and he has told me some things about in-house engineers. What is your experience as far as that goes, with you having your own guy and then going into a venue that, oh, this is our engineer right here?
I mean, a 50-50 shot. I mean, you have those guys that are great, and you could sit down and talk to them and explain to them what you're about, and then they pick up and they do hit the home run.
Okay.
They also have been mixing in that venue for a long time as the house guys, so they know better than anybody. But there have been instances where you get that one guy who just doesn't want to talk to you, you know, doesn't want to help you patch in your inner rig for your inner monitors, you know, and you're just like, hey man, like for 6 hours I've been asking you, can we patch this in? And we're not rude guys. I mean, we're goofy bunch of bastards, that's for sure. But you know, we want to just make things easy for everybody so they don't have to deal with it later. So I mean, you've had some of those moments that we've experienced on the road for sure, but you just don't know. I mean, there's a guy in when we were out in New York, played St. Vitus, and the house guy there was awesome. Yeah, I mean, and now that was pre another shameless plug, Axe Effects 3 days, when I had to bring out.
Do you get paid every time you say that? Is that why you're here?
No, I just like their equipment and would like some more.
But anyway, go back, guys. New York, the house guy.
Help me out. Yeah, I do need new shoes and jeans too.
Now's when you start talking about Nike and stuff.
Now I feel like I'm begging. Oh man. But yeah, so I mean, the guy at St. Vitus was awesome. I mean, that was when I brought out like the whole 12-foot trailer full of gear, and the dude was really nice. he was familiar with Chicago, did some work in Chicago. So we had that camaraderie right away, and a lot of history then of all these venues. So we hit it off right away with him. And I mean, he just made us rip the place apart.
My drums were shaking that venue that night.
Yeah, for sure.
So had you been there a long time? Is that
for out in New York?
Yeah.
I mean, we've traveled there quite a bit. The drive isn't fun. I mean, when we did that specific tour, I think we went straight from Chicago to like Maine. I mean,
on that tour,
where was the first time? It was like a 22-hour drive, man.
Chicago, who the hell is routing you?
Oh, Rhode Island. There it was.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
It was like a 22-hour drive straight.
Went from Chicago to Rhode Island.
Yeah, we slept for like I think an hour and a half, and then arrived at the venue. You know,
what's
our eyelids up.
What's the weirdest routing you've ever had? Like you're talking about Chicago to Rhode Island, and then where'd you go from there? Back to like Indiana or something?
Close. It was Michigan. We had to go to Michigan.
Yeah,
and there was a nasty snowstorm that was going from the Midwest to the East Coast. So it went from like Rhode Island to New York to Michigan, back out to like Pennsylvania, back to Michigan again, and then it went back out to the East Coast. So every time we were traveling, we kept on going in and out of this like blizzard,
like a ping pong ball.
Yeah, I mean, we should have just brought skis and started pulling each other on the way through it again. You know, like, hold on, man, here we go.
And we're talking what it was whiteout conditions. You couldn't see where you were driving.
It was bad.
When we finally got out of it, we're like, great, the snowstorm's over. Hit back in the Midwest, snow's coming back, you know, and it was just constantly in and out of it. Like it was the weirdest thing, man.
And then we finally worked our way on another leg towards like Florida, and that was, you know, hot and humid, and all your food you stored under your 40-foot bus style RV is now spoiled because you forgot about it. It's like crackers and ketchup for 2 weeks, guys.
Yes, crackers and ketchup.
Yeah, poor man's pizza. Here we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say
some cheese on it.
Do you guys carry the aerosol cheese just in case?
You gotta have it, man.
No, if you did, I'd be totally hitting up the Ritz crackers and easy cheese.
You gotta do it.
Coca-Cola, I'm all good.
I can see you're one of those dudes just throws in your mouth and then like puts the cheese in, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely.
I know it. I know it. Hey, what are we looking at as far as tour goes right now?
Right now with we just linked together with a booking agency and a management company. And right now we're just discussing where it'll be, obviously with COVID still in mind, clearly there's an uptick happening again, which I hope it doesn't keep going, which could always throw a wrench in any sort of touring. But we're definitely looking to start working the Midwest and then just start bringing it back around and expanding on out. Oklahoma is definitely on the radar. We have friends out there, and it's been a while since we've seen them, and we would love to just bring the show to them. And of course, you, man, we'll be pulling up to your house and throwing a shot at your front doorstep, ringing a doorbell and saying, we're here, bro.
Dude, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'll make sure to have the easy cheese ready too.
The easy cheese and what's your drink of choice?
You know, I Tito's as
dude, I'm a vodka guy too.
A drink of choice lately.
I'm a vodka guy too. So
scratch the whiskey. We're going Tito's on that doorstep.
All right, that's the plan. Tito's and easy cheese. Got it.
Yeah.
Love it.
It sounds like a bad combo.
The next day, man, it's like, why is there orange puke all over the outside of your apartment building? What the hell?
It smells rancid.
We'll start with the Tito's first before we put the cheese down our throats.
Well, don't you have to build up the cheese really isn't going to be a base, is it? No,
yeah,
that's more of a liquid.
One of us will end up being a test subject, that's for sure.
So all the usual ways to stalk you guys, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. YouTube channel. What do you guys put up in your YouTube channel?
So right now we don't have anything up as of yet. Soon we're gonna probably start doing like crazy videos of like our day in, day out of like all the stupid stuff we do.
Okay.
We got
cool.
plenty of it.
Yeah, we got plenty of that stuff. But like nothing like an official music video and stuff like that yet. Obviously it's something we're talking about if we're gonna do an official real music video.
I mean, we've been talking about it, but with how fast everything's moving, it's like, do we do the video for Behind These Eyes, or do we wait to do a video on a second single?
Right.
So right now we just have that lyric video, but you know, as you said earlier, that nobody really expected us to be climbing that ladder that fast.
You went so fast that maybe it would almost be like better to do a video on the second release.
Yeah, that's something that we talked about for sure, because if we do that video, then you're talking about time for filming, and then would that impact touring schedule too, you know?
Especially with the weather getting nicer right now. I think really finding our way to your hometown, you know, would be our ideal situation. I mean, we're so excited with what we wrote and to share with everybody that we want to just rock it out live, right? More than anything.
It's like, well, I want to see you guys live, so like I'm going to be
you
watching for those dates to be released, and we will get those up on our concert calendar ASAP, because I know a lot of people out there want to see you guys live as well. And chainsoverrazors.com is your website.
Right,
pretty much all the info on the band is there, and everyone can just keep on watching what we've all been talking about here. Is like when the live stuff is going to be going up, and when you're going to be in their area, and when they can see you. And
we're waiting for that email and our calendar to fill up on the Google Calendar.
And anybody can also hit us up on like Twitter and Facebook, because we're the crazy bastards that are writing back. So we're the ones answering, all three of us. So if somebody writes something funny, we're gonna get a funny response back.
Actually, okay. All right. Well, and I love the fact that you keep on referring to yourselves as crazy nutty bastards, because
that's just how we are.
Hey, those are the people I like to hang out with. So
if you think we're goofy, wait till you meet our singer. That's a whole other level, man.
He's one
just
of
as nuts.
He's one of those. No, is he one of those guys that tries to one up everything everybody else does?
No, he's just naturally goofy and so funny. Your stomach will hurt from laughing. And you just don't know what to expect. I mean, so now 3 of us in one room, and it's over.
And then it's over. It's good night, Lois. We're done.
It's over. What happens happens.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for being here. What do you say we give people a taste of dude, I'm going to be playing Behind These Eyes in like about an hour and a half, because you're so far up the charts.
We will tune in an hour and a half.
What's no, you're going to sing it now, bitch. What's a good tune? What's a good tune that you want me to play right now? I want to play something of yours out of our interview, out of our chat, so to speak.
Ooh, that's not Behind These Eyes. Something a little out of the box there. Let's go with Cut the Noose.
Cut the Noose. Okay. All right. We got to cut. Wait a minute. Your name is Chains Over Razors, and you got a song Cut the Noose. What the hell is that all about?
It has to do with mental health, actually. We lost a lot of friends due to mental health, and especially during the pandemic. We spent maybe a big chunk of 2020 going to a lot of like sad wakes and stuff like that, and losing some family members. So that's what that song is actually about.
So it's a way of saying, like, you know, cut the noose. Like, you don't have to take this route. This is not the answer. It's not the way. There are people there for you, and we are here to help and be there for you. So cut that noose. It's a positive meaning.
It's a positive song, but it has a huge deep meaning for us personally.
Even though it sounds heavy as fuck, if I could say that word on air. I'm not sure. Yeah. So let
to-
that one rip.
We'll have to pull a Tarantino and have to bleep out every time you swear.
You know, I
Nope.
forget depending on which interview if swearing is allowed or not. On the last one, I told the guy to put up a counter in the corner.
It's just every time. Well, and
Let it
no,
ring.
we're digital radio, so it's like you can let it fly, man. The only thing that that, or I should say, that's the only thing we can do that FM radio can't.
Yeah.
And well,
That's
that
awesome.
and also get out of the United States.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
the show you're on right now is in 120 countries, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh.
Hello to all 120
We got
countries.
5 stations in our radio group and 15 affiliates for this show. So
Wow.
Wow.
you're getting coverage, and I don't
We are
understand
not
it.
worthy. We are
And I
stuck.
don't.
I got
don't-
to say it.
I
got
don't.
to say it.
Are you gonna let me talk? Or are you gonna keep on interrupting me?
Sorry.
No, I'm giving you shit, dude. You
I'm all
got
excited to
that
be on the
smile on your
show.
face, like, is he kidding or what's going on here? I know. Now, thank you so much for being here. Cut the News is the tune, and any last words, Showman?
You're listening to the Shep.
The
Those are my
Shep?
last words. The Shep.
Isn't that what old guys say? They put the between everything or behind,
The
in front of
Shep.
everything. The Facebook, the Twitter. Okay, I'll shut up now. Shades of Razors, Cut the News right here, right now. Real Rock Nights.